All the scriptures ask us to surrender to God. Why should we surrender, and what does it mean? Surrender happens when we repose all our trust and faith in the grace of God. When we realize no matter how much wealth we may possess, it cannot always protect us. In fact, Lakshmi is chanchal, here today, gone tomorrow. Our health can also fail us. Our reliable friends and relatives could turn against us in future. Our high posts could be snatched away from us. Then we realize our real protector through thick and thin is the Supreme Divine Personality and Him alone. During the Mahabharata, on the last and 18th day of the battle, Shree Krishna said to Arjun, "Today at the end, you get off the chariot first and stand a distance away." Arjun did not understand the reason behind Shree Krishna's instruction, but obeyed blindly. When he stood apart, Shree Krishna then stepped off the chariot, and immediately it crumbled and then exploded. Arjun asked Sri Krishna, "What happened?" He said, "Your chariot could not have withstood the divine weapons of Karna, Dronacharya, Bhishma, etc. I was holding it in place by my power. And that is why when I left, it crumbled." So when we realize that my crutches are fallible and choose to develop complete and absolute faith, my real ashray or protector is God. Naradji expresses that as Anya Ashray Tyagaha, and that brings about the spirit of surrender. What comes in the way of surrender is this big enemy inside the ego, which informs us, God may be great, but I am also something. Consider the example of Barbarik. He was the son of Ghatotkach, who was the son of Bhim and Hidimba. So Barbarik was the grandson of Bhimsen. When the battle of Mahabharata was about to begin, Barbarik was also approaching to participate. Sri Krishna realized this warrior is so powerful, he has in his capacity the ability to overturn the outcome of the battle. So he met Barbarik on the way and said, "Where are you going?" Barbarik said, "To participate in the forthcoming battle." Sri Krishna asked him, "What are your abilities? Give me a demonstration." Barbarik in his quiver used to have 3 arrows. He said, "These 3 arrows is all my arsenal. The first marks out whatever I wish to kill. The second marks out what I wish not to kill. And the third completes the task." Sri Krishna said, "Show me." Barbarik released them. Now the arrow, first one, went and marked all the leaves of the nearby tree. Sri Krishna had put 1 leaf under his foot as a test. The arrow started hovering over Sri Krishna's foot, And then Shree Krishna realized his power. He released the leaf. The second arrow came back without touching any. And the third arrow pierced all the leaves and fell at the feet of Shree Krishna. Shree Krishna was impressed by Barbarik's prowess and asked him, "On which side are you going to fight?" Barbarik said, "I received the instruction from my mother to always take the side of the weaker army. In this case, the Pandavas have only 7 Akshohini divisions, while the Kauravas have 11. Shree Krishna said, "Suppose you fight from the side of the Pandavas, you will then kill everybody in the Kaurava army. But Bhishma will remain unscathed because he has the Svecha Mrityu Vardhan, death only when he wishes. In that case, the Kaurava army will then later become the more powerful one, and you will side it and start killing the Pandavas. This is very dangerous." He then said to Barbarik, "Will you offer me a gift?" Barbarik said, "Sham Sundar, whatever you ask." Shree Krishna said, "Give me your head." Barbarik said, "Without question, but you also offer me something." Shree Krishna said, "What?" He said, "I wish to have the opportunity to observe your glory manifest in the forthcoming Mahabharat war." Shree Krishna said, "So be it." Barbarik took a sword, chopped his head off and offered it to Shree Krishna. Shree Krishna took his head and placed it in the sky so that Barbarik could observe the entire battle. After 18 days, when the Pandavas finally won, once a discussion began on whose contribution was the maximum in the Pandav victory. There were different claims. Shree Krishna said, "We have a judge up in the skies." So he brought Barbarik's head down and asked him the same question. Barbarik's response was classic. He said, "Shree Krishna, although I found a lot of people fighting in the war, I could see very clearly it was your divine disc, the Sudarshan Chakra, moving around all over the battlefield and effecting the results. O Vasudev, I could see only your glory manifest everywhere in this war." The Pandavas then questioned Shree Krishna. Why did he ask for such a terrible gift, the head of their grandson Barbarik? Shree Krishna then revealed that in his past life Barbarik was a yaksh, and at a time when the evil forces had increased tremendously, the Devatas had approached Vishnu for protection. Vishnu had said he would soon descend on the earth as an avatar and annihilate the miscreants. However, the Yaksh with pride had said, "There is no need. I can do this myself. I am so powerful." The arrogance of the Yaksh had incensed Brahma, who then cursed him that when Vishnu descends, before annihilating the miscreants, he will first of all kill you. Shree Krishna said, "I had to fulfill the words of Brahma." What is the learning from here? The mistake of the Yaksh was his arrogance that prevented him from accepting the greatness of God. And later on, when he came again as Barbarik, his glory lay in his complete and absolute alignment of his will with the will of God. that anukulyasya sankalpaha is the prime symptom of surrender. Unite your will with the will of God. When we surrender, we accept that all we have belongs to Him. We give up the sense of proprietorship and desire to use our possessions for the happiness of God. Then the seva bhav develops. By doing seva, we put our learning into practice. It helps us realize that devotion is to be done for the happiness of God. Through service, we grow in the spirit of surrender and selflessness. Seva also prepares us for the divine service of God in His Nitya Leela, His divine abode. Seva is thus the very life of devotion, surrender, and spirituality. In fact, it is the original nature of the soul. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Jivera Swarupai Krishner Nityadas. The eternal constitutional position of the soul is by nature the servant of God. So to progress in surrender, learn to use your possessions in a manner that pleases God. Take inspiration from this little girl who had accompanied her mother to the mall. And while they were checking out, the girl saw an artificial pearls necklace. Its shine and splendor attracted the little child, and she begged her mummy to have it. The price tag on it was 250 rupees. The mother said, "My child, you will have to purchase it with your money." So the girl went home, checked her piggy bank, did a little chore at home for which she earned a little bit from her mother, requested her grandmother for a little more, and finally put together the price to purchase the necklace. When she got it, she felt she was on top of the world. Papa returned and she proudly showed her possession to her father. The next day, while Papa was putting her daughter to bed, it was his habit to tell her a lullaby story. At the end of it, he said, "Beti, do you love me?" "Yes, Papa." "Are you sure you love me?" "Yes, Papa." "Will you give me something if I ask for it?" "Definitely, Papa." "In that case, give me your pearl necklace." "Oh no, Papa, ask for anything else. The teddy bear, the toy train, don't ask for this necklace." "It's all right, Beti, you don't love me." And he went off. The next night he came. His daughter was sitting cross-legged on her bed with tears in her eyes. And she said, "Papa, I've got something to give you." He put his hand forth, she placed the necklace in it. The father pocketed it, and from his other pocket he took out a real pearl necklace worth 25,000 rupees and placed it on her. The papa had no intention to impoverish his daughter, but he needed her to learn surrender before he could enrich her with gifts. Likewise, our eternal Father is full of divine knowledge, divine love, and divine bliss, and wishes to enrich us with these divine presents. But He needs to know whether we are surrendered, and we will have to express that by learning to sacrifice and serve Him with what we possess.